in this country without Uncle Sam getting a piece of it. So now you take your dollar, you double it every day, and give him his 33% of gains. How much do you think we have left over? Go ahead.
67.
Here you go. Dollar every day. So most people do the easy math. They say, well, $1 million, 33% off of that, it's got to be $600,000 to $700,000. The reality is every time you double, he gets his cut. So we're getting it every day. After you're done with taxes, that same doubling every day is only worth $28,000. So I just showed you how the bank beat you out of $600,000. Uncle Sam beat you out of $1 million. That also does not mean that you can take your pitchfork and go storm the IRS. And certainly do not tell them Julia told you, because I don't need to be audited. The point is you have to make sure that your money is growing tax friendly. Most people don't realize that there's a difference. So you can tax me now, you can tax me later, or you can tax me never again. Tax me now money is money that you put in the bank. You get your 0.04%, they send you a little 1099 INT, and you got to pay taxes on it that year. Tax me later money is like your 401k. Let's stop right there. That is money that you put away today that you don't pay taxes on. You let it grow tax deferred, and then you pay taxes on the back end when you retire. How many of you, when you guys retired, did you realize the whole time you were working and they said we're going to give you this retirement that they were going to be taking taxes off the top of that when you were putting it away in 401ks?
I got mine off.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a second. But most people, when they're tugging it away in their 401k, they don't think about the fact that it's going to be taxed on the back end. All they hear is tax deferred. We don't ever think, oh, but that doesn't mean tax never. That means deferred. See, here's the thing. The thought process with a tax deferred account is, if I have $1,000 in there, we'll say, why in the world would I pay taxes on it today when I can, and in most people's tax bracket is 25%. We all agree on that? Why in the world would I pay $250 in taxes on this when I can defer it until I retire, which I should have less income, so I should be in a lower tax bracket, and I can pay maybe 15% taxes or $150 on that same $1,000. That's the thought process, right? That's why people do tax deferred. Because I can be in a lower tax bracket on the back end. Here's the flaw in that thinking that they didn't tell us about this part. All right, I'm going to tell you two stories, and then we'll talk about this in a second. First story. Let's imagine we're just, young folks. We are roommates. We're renting a home together. We have a full-time job. We're working all we can. We're living paycheck to paycheck. We got a bunch of credit cards that are maxed out. We're making minimum payments only. We rent our furniture in there, we rent our appliances, we rent our electronics. This is the story of most young people, right? Would you agree? They're just barely keeping their head above water.
They living.
Huh?
They living.
Right. They're just treading that water, just trying to keep their head above. If anything were to pop up on our financial horizon, if that was our situation, we'd be in pretty big trouble, right? Think about it. Because